Hi everyone, in this video, we will study measurement of flow rate of liquids in a fermentation. How would you monitor the flow rate of liquids during a fermentation? Now, the flow rate of non-sterile liquids can be monitored by a number of techniques, but measurement of flow rates of sterile liquids presents special problems which have to be overcome. On a laboratory scale, the flow rates can be measured manually using a sterile burette. This may be connected to a feed pipe and timing the exit of a measured volume. You can time the exit of a measured volume. On a large scale, these burettes will not be feasible. So what will you use to monitor the flow rate of liquids? Rotameters. In the previous recording, we have seen the principle of rotameters in detail. They are variable area meters. And as I said, they can be used to monitor the flow rate of both gases as well as liquids. Now, is there anything that you can use other than rotameters to monitor the flow rate of liquids? Yes. Electrical flow transducer. Now, what is this electrical flow transducer? This electrical flow transducer is a method which can be used to monitor the flow rate of liquids. It is expensive, yes, but it can cope with particulate matter in suspension, and it can measure a range of flow rates from very low, such as 50 ml per minute, to very high, 500,000, that is 5 lakh liters per minute. So it can monitor such high flow rates as well. Is it accurate? Yes, it has a very high accuracy of plus or minus 1%. Now, what is the principle? In this electrical flow transducer or flow meter, there are two windings outside the tube. These are supplied with an alternating current to create a magnetic field. Okay, there are two windings outside the tube. They are supplied with an alternating current. This will create a magnetic field. What next? The voltage induced in this magnetic field is proportional to the velocity of the fluid and the magnetic field. So the potential difference in this fluid can be measured by a pair of electrodes, and it is directly proportional to the velocity of the fluid, that is the flow rate. If you don't want to use rotameters or electrical flow transducers, is there any alternative or any other method to measure the flow rate indirectly? Yes. There's something called as load cells. In batch and fed batch fermentation, there's a cheaper alternative. This is used to measure flow rate indirectly. This is load cell. Now, if you compare load cells with electrical flow transducer is an expensive method. Load cells is a cheaper alternative. And load cell will measure the flow rate indirectly, but yes, very accurately. The fermenter and all the ancillary reservoirs, all the vessels and pipelines are attached to load cells. These load cells will monitor the increase and decrease in the weight of the various vessels at the regular time intervals. So these load cells will monitor the increase and decrease in the weight of these vessels and pipelines at regular time intervals. You would say we wanted to find out the flow rate of liquids. Load cells are not telling us the flow rate. In fact, they're just telling us the increase and decrease in the weight of that vessel at regular time intervals. Yes, provided you know the specific gravity of the liquid, you can calculate the flow rate, you can estimate the flow rate fairly accurately in different vessels and pipelines. Okay, so this is another technique which may be used with particulate matter or suspensions. Is there any other method which can be used to monitor the flow rate of liquids? Yes. Another indirect method of measuring flow rates of liquid aseptically is to use a metering pump which pumps liquid continuously at a predetermined and accurate rate and will determine the flow rate of the liquids. A variety of metering pumps are commercially available, including motorized syringes, peristaltic pumps, piston pumps, and diaphragm pumps. Okay, so these are the methods to monitor the flow rate of liquids. Laboratory sterile burettes, they can be used only at the lab level. Rotameters, electrical flow transducer, load cells, and metering pumps. So this was all about monitoring flow rate of liquids during a fermentation.